We finna get deep. We finna go there, okay? I had no idea that this was going to happen in my life. I had no idea that this was coming. I had never even heard this word before. And I had no clue that when I turned 40, this was just gonna invade my body. Hey cousins, hey, it's your girl Mary Kay coming to you with a topic today. I'm coming to you with a topic today. Yeah, that was off the top of the dome. Okay, so listen. So I wanted to jump on and talk to you guys about something that is so crazy. It's really not, but it is, because I had no idea that this was going to happen in my life. I had no idea that this was coming. I had never even heard this word before. And I had no clue that when I turned 40, this was just going to invade my body. Yeah. My body, my mind, my emotions. Like, I had no idea this was coming. No clue. You hear me? Tap your neighbor and say no clue. Okay, because that's what I had. I really wanted to talk about this, to be honest. I'm going to do a live about this so you guys can ask any questions that you may have after hearing this video. Because maybe you've been experiencing some things and just didn't know about this, like in my case. So I'm really talking about this because I feel like it needs to be talked about more. Way more. Like, this needs to be taught in school, in health class, all of that stuff. We need to know this as young women. So what am I talking about? I am talking about perimenopause. Let me preface this by saying, y'all already know this, but I have to say it. I am not a physician, okay? So everything that I'm telling you is my experience, what has happened to me, and what I have learned, not only via my own research, but what I have learned from seeing my doctor, okay? I'm going to just tell you the actual definition of perimenopause, and then I'll just go into what it is, what has happened to me, what I had to do about it, etc., 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 etc. Perimenopause means around menopause and refers to the time during which your body makes the natural transition to menopause. Women start perimenopause at different ages. You may notice signs of progression sometime in your 40s, but some women notice changes as early as their 30s. The level of estrogen, the main female hormone in your body, rises and falls unevenly during perimenopause. Your menstrual cycles may lengthen or shorten, and you may begin having menstrual cycles in which your ovaries don't release an egg or ovulate. You may also experience menopause-like symptoms such as hot flashes, sleep problems. Once you've gone through 12 consecutive months without a menstrual period, you've officially reached menopause, and the perimenopause period is over. Now ask me, have I ever in my life heard the word perimenopause? My big age cousins, why y'all didn't tell me? See, we were celebrating when I had turned 40, but y'all didn't tell me that my body was finna get jacked up. It's literally as soon as I turned 40. Nobody told me that was gonna happen. So I was feeling things. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Googler, and I let me take that back. I'm a researcher. So whether it's Google or not, I have always been this. If I have a question, I'm going to search. I'm going to search. I'm going to search. I reached out to my older sisters. I talked to my mother about this. My sisters was like, I don't know what you're talking about. My mama was like, okay. She didn't know what I was talking about. So I'm like, so everybody's like, just go see your doctor. Which I had already made an appointment anyways to do that. Because you always want to be safe. You know what I mean? Especially when you've always been super regular. Like, y'all, we finna get deep. We finna go there, okay? So if you don't like talking about women things, you might just need to holler at me at the next video when we slam wigs, okay? And I don't mind that. So this is your time to go ahead. And I probably should have been said that, but so for me, I've always been very healthy, regular. Like, my menstrual cycles have always been very regular, except when I was on birth control. And y'all already know my story with birth control. Y'all, my body was like, sis. when you gonna take that thing out your arm, boo? It is not meshing well with what I got going on in life. I'm gonna need you to take it out, and that's a story in itself. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch that video. It's somewhere on one of these sides. I don't ever know where it's gonna show up, but it's somewhere off up in here. That's really the only time my periods have ever been irregular. Once I got it out, it went back to its consistent, regular. My flow has always been regular. The timing has always been regular. When I say regular, I mean regular for me. I'm not saying that if your flow is this way or if the time is this way, that is irregular. I'm not saying that. I mean regular for me. It's always been consistent. Maybe that's a better word. So, after I turned 40, y'all, I'm not lying. Literally, right after I turned 40, it started to get a little bit irregular. It was like shorter and lighter. I've always been pretty average. I'm not a heavy flower. I don't cramp by the grace of God. I do feel that weird stomach thing where it's just like, where you're on your period. Like you feel it, whether you cramp or not. You feel not sick, but bad. I've never been a big cramper by the grace of God, but I always feel like day 1 and day 2 is always like, oh my gosh, man. So my cycle started to get shorter and lighter. And so I was like, okay. My weight started to fluctuate. I work out throughout the week. I have a healthy eating pattern, habits. So I've been able to maintain like a healthy weight for a very long time. And then like I just started to like drastically pick up weight, and then I started to lose weight. And I was like, what the heck is going on in my body, in my home? Cause 40 is here. I didn't invite no ignorance to 40. I just invited all the glory of 40. But I didn't know about the ignorant on top of ignorant part. So I'm like, what the heck? So the first thing I did was I talked to my sisters. I was like, hey, you could have put your sister on that 40 was supposed to mean, and I was finna get crazy in my body. My sister was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She has not experienced any of these things. So I was like, dang, but she was like, set you up an appointment with your gynecologist. I had already done that anyways. I still had another year to go before it was time for me to see my gynecologist, but I just was like, no, I'm going. Because if you look stuff up, y'all, it will frighten you. That's why doctors always say, don't Google. Like, don't just come in, and a lot of the doctors may be hustling. They may just want your money, whatever. But if you have a real, like, my doctor is fantastic. I was like, I'm just about to go see her, see what's up. Because if you look like, yo, what's going on? Spotting, that's another symptom. Usually I spot before, like the day before I will spot. Like lightly spot, and then the next day it'll come on. So that was normal, but then I start spotting after. So it was light, it's shorter, it will be gone, and I spot, and then it's gone till the next month. So for me, I'm like, so when you start looking at irregular periods, it could be so much. It could be so many different things, and it will drive you crazy. So I was just like, let me go see my doctor. I just went for a full exam, y'all. When I say full exam, I almost felt violated in that room. Okay. But that's what I wanted. Everything. I wanted everything. Period. I'm 40 now. Everything's got to everything. Just run all the checks. Just check it all. Check it. Check everything, y'all. So she did. And I was talking about what I was going through with her. And she was like, well, we're going to check some levels. We're going to, blah, blah, blah. We checked everything. Everything came back great. Like, I'm in great health, but I have slid into perimenopause. So, first of all, I was happy that it wasn't anything life-threatening, stuff like that. But when you have never heard the word perimenopause, you don't know. So you're thinking something is wrong because I'm consistent. Now all of a sudden I'm inconsistent, and somebody gonna have to tell me something because hello, and I'm doing all this working out, trying to eat right, and all this kind of stuff, and that's I don't know. I don't know. So it's scary when you don't know, which is why I'm putting this very personal video out there. Y'all, I should not be 40 learning about this. And there's a lot of reasons for that, because no shade, but a lot of doctors are men, and men don't always take women's situations seriously. Once you know what's going on and you start listening to other women and their perimenopause stories, do you know how many of those women were prescribed antidepressants? You're not going to be able to tell me that I'm imagining these things. You're not going to be able to tell me that I'm imagining the fact that I've never felt so imbalanced emotionally in my life. It's so crazy because it was like a couple weeks before my appointment, and my husband was out of town. And you never really get used to when your partner, has a job where they are gone. Sometimes you never really get used to it, but you get adjusted to it. You learn to adjust so you're not all sad all the time and blah, blah. You work out your communication, you work out your schedules, blah, blah, blah. But this particular time, he was gone. When I tell y'all, I was a basket case. I was so sad. I was so down. What is this? What is happening? Y'all, I hated that feeling to where, so I was like, I forced myself to get up. I forced myself to work because the way I was raised, I swear, I was raised by superhuman women. Okay? Don't let anything stop you type of women. So I just have that mentality, and sometimes it's wonderful and sometimes it's not, because I was pushing myself and I was just like, you don't slack off just because you feel sad. You don't do that. And not really diving deep into why, because a lot of that was I didn't know. So going back to this, I don't know nothing about Perry and them, okay? I am so severely sad, and he's calling and I'm crying, and he really cares about me. So he doesn't like when I'm like that. I wasn't sleeping. I'm waking up every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning and having to force myself to go back to sleep. So I'm missing sleep now. Literally like clockwork, back to back to back to back to back. So I'm getting maybe strong 4 hours of sleep, irregular cycles. I'm emotional. It's all get out, y'all. Okay, my weight has picked up. I'm doing all the same stuff that I've always done to be able to maintain a healthy weight, but my weight is just going up, 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 up. So I'm like, what the heck is happening? I was getting hot in the night. I just sleep under a sheet, and then I just swap the comforter off of my side because I'll get too hot now. Mood changes. I just said that. They do say vaginal and bladder problems. I haven't experienced anything like that, but it says when estrogen levels diminish, your vaginal tissues may lose lubrication and elasticity. Like I said, when you listen to other people's stories about perimenopause, these are some symptoms that other women are going through, y'all. One young lady started going through this process when she was 23. So it's it just varies from person to person. Loss of bone. With declining estrogen levels, you start to lose bone more quickly than you replace it. Changing cholesterol levels. And there are certain things that make your symptoms, there are certain things that could affect your symptoms, such as if you smoke, your family history, if you've had a hysterectomy, things like that. It says here, irregular periods are a hallmark of perimenopause. Most of the time this is normal and nothing to be concerned about. However, go to your doctor if you see that bleeding is extremely heavy. Bleeding lasts longer than 7 days. Bleeding occurs between periods. Periods regularly occur less than 21 days apart. Now, I told y'all I was spotting in between. So I would have my period, and then it'll be over. 2 days will pass, and then I'll start spotting for 2 days, and then it's completely over for the rest of the month until my next cycle. So the bottom line is go see your doctor. Check my blood, cholesterol levels, hormone levels, everything was checked when I went. So you can ask for these things, because a lot of doctors, I'm telling you, a lot of doctors will pass this stuff off like you're crazy. And it's crazy because I was talking to my mother about this, and I was like, I feel for grandparents, my grandmothers and everybody's grandmothers and great grandmothers. If they experience this, you know how hard our grandmothers worked you know, whether they was outside of the house or inside of the house, keeping house, and you're going through this and you're feeling like this and nobody's listening to you and everybody think you're crazy and everybody think you this, you know, women are, for years, professionals in this business called this that women go through when they reach a certain age hysterics. Like, that's how they categorize it. Just as a woman, when you turn 40, you get hysterical. That's why we don't know this stuff. They didn't teach us this stuff. In my mind, I felt like I had to probably about 55, then I'm just going to hit menopause. That's what I have been taught. You see what I'm saying? You think somewhere in your 50s, you're going to enter menopause. Period. I knew nothing about a transition period. And this transition period can be 3 years. It can be 14 years before you actually hit menopause. So this is not menopause, y'all. This is the road to menopause. Do you see what I'm saying? I had no clue that this road even existed. I didn't even know that this road was in the city that I lived in. I had no clue that this was the road. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and nobody told me the road was even over there. That's why nobody in my, like the older people, it's just now being acknowledged a little bit, y'all. Do you hear me? It is just now being acknowledged a little bit. So that's why my older sisters and my mother didn't know. No, wasn't nobody talking about no perimenopause. Now, it's so crazy because you have all these women who are saying, hey, this stuff is starting to happen. Hey, what's going on? Take this depression medicine and go into the house and sit down. I mean, how many women have to report these symptoms before somebody says, hey, seems like women are going through the same sorts of things around the same time of life, and it's right before menopause. Maybe there's something to it. Like, nobody, it's just so crazy to me. There's no reason why we should not know as women there is a journey to menopause. You hear me? So, y'all, that's why I'm doing this, because this is my personal business, y'all. But the way that I felt when I found this out, I felt low-key betrayed because I was so scared. Y'all, I was frightened. And it's crazy because my mother called me, and even when I told her, like, she was like, oh, bless your little heart, but she didn't know the extent of it. I'm in North Carolina, you know, my parents are in New York. So she called me, and there was another young lady who had just turned 40, and she was going through the same thing. And she came up, and she was going up for prayer. She didn't know what was wrong. She's crying. She's at the altar. She's like, you know, I just pray that I'm okay. Like, I don't know what's going on. Turns out it was perimenopause. She's going through the same thing. And then my mom got to see her symptoms. Like, we're in 2 different states, so she got to see it, and she called me. She was like, I had no idea. Like, she was like, dang, this what my baby going through. And I had no clue that it's like that. And it is, y'all. And it's very, very frightening when you don't know. That is literally the only reason I am sharing personal, very personal information with you, because it's bigger than me. It's deeper than me. It affects way more than me. And there's no reason why this process should be this frightening. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing, just knowing that all of a sudden your body is out of whack. That's how it feels. You just feel off. Everything is wrong. Emotionally, it's like you're raw. You're just like, what is happening? I wasn't sleeping. I was sad. I'm starting to get these cramps now. Another symptom that I had, restless leg symptom, y'all. And that is the hardest thing to explain, but it feels like tingles in your legs or something. Maybe. I don't know if that's the right way. Some people describe it as like little bugs crawling on your legs. It didn't feel like that to me. Thank God. Oh. But it felt like tingles. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know, but that's a symptom of perimenopause. So I'm having these symptoms, and you gotta think, if you have all your life, by the grace of God, been pretty healthy. Like, I have asthma, as y'all know. I don't know if y'all know or not, but yeah, I do have asthma. I was born with asthma. I don't use an inhaler regularly. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a regular inhaler that I have to use every day. But it was something that I was born with, and it's something that does kick up every once in a blue moon. And I have allergies galore, okay, all year, and to many different things. So other than that, I'm a pretty healthy person. So when things start going out of whack, and you start losing your stability and you are like, I'm not feeling myself. Like this, I was not feeling myself, and it made me so sad once I realized what was going on. And once I heard my mom talk about, the young lady, and she wanted to talk to me about it and just to have somebody to talk to because nobody else knew what she was talking about. It's sad, y'all. We've never been taught that there's a whole road, and it could be years before I make it to, like, I just turned 40. So just think, if I'm not in menopause, I may not be in menopause till I'm 55, 56 years old. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is you're on this journey until you hit menopause. So this is a long journey. So you're feeling this way. And I told my doctor, she was like, let me prescribe you some blah, blah, blah. This is going to help with those symptoms. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me just thug it out. I'm okay. Like, long as I know I'm okay, this is something natural that I just have to go through, I'm cool. She was like, no, ma'am. She was like, you don't have to suffer through this. This is not something that has to be harmful to you and to your everyday. And then I told her, I said, well, I don't want nothing like chemically, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their different choices and the way they want to handle it. There's, I know some women have gone through, like hormone therapy. You can do that. I just choose right now. I just want to, every day is not the same and every day is not a bad day. So I've learned it now. So I feel like I'm okay at this moment. So I told her, just let me, I did tell her, if it ever gets to the point to where I feel like I can't handle it, we'll revisit. I was just like, bruh, I cannot believe that there is this whole big chunk of life. I could be going through this for the next 15 years and had no clue that it was coming. No clue that it was coming. I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. When we was on live, and this is before I knew what it was, and I was like, how come y'all didn't tell me my body was gonna get crazy at 40? My big cousins came in and was like, girl, you just wait. Y'all, when I tell you y'all scared me so bad, what is this thing called life about? Oh Lord, y'all scared me so bad. I said, I'm getting to my doctor ASAP. Y'all not finna set up and have me lost and turned out scared, not know what's going on. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to share this with you guys. If you start experiencing things in your later life, somewhere in your 30s or 40s, that it may be that. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying relax, relate, release. Go see your doctor. There may be a high probability that that's what you're starting to experience. And you just never knew that you were even going to experience this for the next several years of your life. If you're still getting a period, even an irregular one, you're still ovulating. So you're still in perimenopause. Even if you've been in this stage for 10 years, if you're still getting a period, you're still ovulating. So you're still in perimenopause. Until you haven't menstruated for 12 consecutive months, you should assume your body is still ovulating. Once you get to the point to where you've had 12 consecutive months of no periods, then you are in menopause. Okay, I'm still very much in perimenopause. Probably a long way from menopause, but it's good to know that it's okay. It's a natural part of being a woman. It's a natural part of life, and it's not to be. It's not a fearful thing. It's not to be feared. It's not to be feared. Okay, I'm glad I know, but I feel like I have a responsibility to tell others because so many people don't know. There's a whole stage of life, not a month, not 2 months, but years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So I just feel like I have a responsibility because I don't want anybody to be as frightened as I was. I don't want anybody to, go through that, especially people who are alone. Like, I have a beautiful family. I have a supportive family, and it's a blessing, and I really pray for the people who are going through this by themselves and may not even know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? So if definitely go see your doctor and just get everything checked out, get everything negative ruled out, so that you're good. This is a cycle that we as women have to go through. And I have reached the age where mine has started. Rather than fear it and let it put you in a state of unnerving sadness, it's just another part of being a woman, and I would not want to be anything else. So This is something that, you know, I've reached a point where a lot of people haven't, you know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be 40. And this is just something that comes with it. And I'm aging gracefully. And I want to put that light on it, not the energy of fear and depression and sadness and weakness. And I want to, if I can help to change that narrative, that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do, y'all. You know, we just celebrating entering another chapter of our lives. That's how I look at it now. But now it's because I know that I'm okay. Like when you don't know that this is going to happen and you're not expecting it, and then all of a sudden, y'all, it's quick. It's like a light switch. I promise you, it's like a light switch. You just start going through different things. And last month is the month when I really, like, I felt it, like everything happened at one time. My sleepless nights, my erratic emotions, like the cramping, the irregular periods. Last month I had everything. Every symptom that I had. I won't say I had every symptom because I haven't had every symptom, thank God. But every symptom that I experienced. Last month, I experienced them all at one time, y'all. I'm not playing. And I was like, bruh, what the heck is going on with me? It's crazy. But y'all, it could be, if you're experiencing those type of things and you're somewhere around this age, it definitely could be that. So just when you set up your doctor's appointment, mention any symptoms. I mean, any new thing that I start feeling, like the restless leg. I didn't know that that's what it was called at the time. I tried my best to describe it, and I'm telling her that. She was like, that's restless leg. That's exactly what that is. So she knew. It was like everything that I was saying, she was like, you're in perimenopause. Like, it was so duh to her. Before any test results came back, before anything, she was like, you're in perimenopause. And then she broke it down, everything. And the stuff she was saying, I was like, that's what I feel. That's what I'm going through. And it was, y'all, it was a weight. You hear me? When you don't know that exists, you look at all the other possibilities before you even look at that very natural, normal possibility. Because you don't know it's there. You don't know. You don't know it. You don't know it. You don't know his mama. You don't know his grandmama. You don't know none of their people. You know nothing about that. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm going to hit menopause somewhere around 50. That's what they tell you growing up in health class, all that stuff. And that's it. I'm going to hit it. Bam. One day, I'm just going to hit menopause. Boom. Then nobody tell me you got to work your way up to menopause like it's a good job or something. You got to work your way up to it. Then nobody tell me that. Nobody. And she broke everything down to me, and it was the best feeling. Of course, I didn't enjoy my appointment because I wanted everything checked. When you go through that, you just afraid, man. It was like, you got another year before you. I was like, ma'am, hit it. And everything. Child, I was so violated when I left that office building. But you know what? All them results came back the way thus saith the Lord, and the way that I felt like. Like I didn't feel no ways tired, but I knew something was happening. Just thank God that I'm able to share this with you, so you know. If you didn't know, now you know. That's a thing. That's a thing. I'm giving it to y'all how I would have loved for it to be given to me. Just here, put it in my face. This is a thing. This is a term. This is a vocabulary term that we should have been learning our whole lives and wasn't on now one of the vocabulary tests. This is vocabulary. This is going to happen in your lifetime if you are a woman. We should know that. We should know that, y'all, because it's so frightening when you don't know. Okay? Okay. Y'all, I was so scared. My baby sitting up here nervous. And I'm just like, I don't know. I've been with my husband for a very long time. So he's been with me throughout everything. Like, everything has just been regular. He been with me through many paps. Let's just say it like that. Huh? He been with me through it. So, when I started feeling different stuff, I was like, baby, I don't think this what God got called for my life. Perimenopause, man. It will turn your life upside down if you let it. If you don't know no better. I didn't know no better. I didn't know. So there it is, y'all. I'm doing this because I love y'all. I sincerely care, and I want nobody to be as frightened as I was. Just make an appointment with your doctor, period. Because you will frighten yourself, especially if you don't know what this is. This is a thing, perimenopause, okay? Y'all all up in my business now, but it's for a reason. I don't want y'all to be petrified. That's why. That's why. It might be happening to you right now and you have no idea. You're trying to figure out, dang, what is going on with me? You might be going through this phase of life and don't even know it. I hope that this has helped someone. I hope that this has encouraged someone to make a doctor's appointment if they need to make that doctor's appointment. This is by design. If you're going through this phase, it's by design. It is divinely designed. It's not something to fear. It's not something to be sad about. It's something to celebrate. We are in a beautiful phase of life. This is a journey, and this is just another part of the journey, okay? I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to feel that. I want y'all to believe that.
This is how we set up.
You hear me? And women, we've been going through things by design for a long time. This is not going to break us. This is not going to deter us. If you listen to people, they will tell you this depletes your value. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. There are few things in this world that's more valuable than a woman. Period. Point blank. This is not something to fear. And I want everybody to know that, to understand that, to believe that. Our value goes up. Our value increases. Don't let nobody tell you that your value decreases. Not anybody, not a doctor, not nobody. Don't let nobody tell you it's something wrong with you. Don't let nobody tell you that you're crazy. Don't let nobody tell you that you're making up these symptoms. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? Okay? Okay. You can ask me questions in the comments. I don't always see all the comments. I'll try to get to as many as I can, but there will be a live, so you can ask me questions like live and in time. And I'll answer based off of my experiences and off of what I know, off of what I've learned via my doctor and things of that nature. So I hope this helped y'all, and I hope it eased somebody's mind out there. But go see a doctor. Okay? Peace, love, light.